My wife Lauren asked for a divorce on a Tuesday in February. We were eating dinner at the kitchen table when she said it. I want a divorce, Michael. I'm not happy anymore. I set down my fork and looked at her. We'd been married for 7 years. I'd seen this coming for months. Okay, I said. She blinked. Okay, that's it. What do you want me to say? If you're not happy, you're not happy. I'm not going to beg you to stay. I thought you'd fight for us. There's no us to fight for if you've already decided you want out. She looked almost disappointed, like she'd wanted drama, and I'd given her acceptance instead. I've already talked to a lawyer, she said. I'll be filing papers next week. That's fine. I'll get my own attorney. I want a house. The house is in my name. I bought it before we got married. But I've lived here for 7 years. I deserve half. That's not how it works. But we can let the lawyers figure it out. She stood up. I'm staying at my mother's tonight. We can talk about logistics later. Sure. She left. The door closed behind her, and I sat there in the quiet, feeling oddly relieved. The truth was, our marriage had been dead for a long time. Lauren had made it clear over the years that she'd expected more from me. More money, more status, a bigger house, fancier vacations. I was an IT manager at a mid-sized company. Made decent money, about $80,000 a year. But it wasn't enough for Lauren. She wanted the lifestyle her friends had. The ones whose husbands were lawyers and doctors and executives. I wasn't those things. I was just a guy who was good with computers and liked a simple life. For years, she made comments about how her friend Sarah's husband just got promoted to VP, about how her cousin's husband bought a beach house, about how he never went anywhere exciting. I tried to make her happy, worked overtime, took on extra projects, saved money, but it was never enough. Now she wanted out, and honestly, I was okay with that. The next day, I called an attorney, Mark Patterson, recommended by a friend who'd gone through a divorce. Mark, my wife wants a divorce. She asked for it yesterday. How do you feel about that? Relieved, actually. We've been unhappy for years. Good. That makes this easier. Tell me about your assets. I laid it out. The house I bought before marriage. My 401k. A small savings account. One car in my name, one in hers. Pretty straightforward. Mark said, how stays yours? Retirement accounts get split for the time you were married. Cars stay with whoever's name they're in. She'll probably ask for alimony. On what grounds? She has a job. Doesn't matter. In this state, if there's an income disparity, she can ask. Doesn't mean she'll get it, but she can ask. Great. Don't worry. We'll handle it. You're going to be fine, Michael. Over the next 3 months, the divorce crawled forward. Lauren's attorney made demands. Mark pushed back. They went back and forth. Lauren wanted the house, alimony, half my retirement, and half my savings. Mark offered her a quarter of the retirement funds accumulated during marriage, her car, and $10,000 to walk away. Her attorney said no. During this time, I barely saw Lauren. She stayed at her mother's. We communicated only through our attorneys. But something else was happening. Something I hadn't expected. My boss, Richard, called me in his office one Monday morning. Michael, sit down. I have news. I sat. The company is restructuring. We're creating a new position, Director of Information Technology. It's a significant promotion. More responsibility, bigger team, and the salary is $180,000 base, plus bonuses. I stared at him. $180, plus bonuses that could add another $30,000 to $40,000. I want you for the position. You've been here 8 years. You know our systems inside and out, and you're the best manager I've got. What do you say? Yes. Absolutely yes. Great. The promotion is effective next month. HR will send over the paperwork. I walked out of his office in a daze. I just more than doubled my salary. That evening, I called Mark. I just got a huge promotion. My salary is jumping from $80,000 to $180,000. He was quiet for a moment. When is it effective? Next month. And when did you get the offer? Today. Okay, here's what we do. We don't tell her attorney until after the divorce is final. In this state, income changes that occur during divorce proceedings but haven't been paid out yet are sometimes not considered for alimony calculations. We need to move fast. How fast? I'm going to push for a settlement this week. If she's still refusing, we go to court. But Michael, if this drags out and she finds out about the promotion, she's going to come after that money. Understood. Mark worked his magic. He sent Lauren's attorney a revised offer. $20,000 cash, a quarter of the marital retirement funds, her car, and no alimony. Her attorney came back with a counter. $30,000, half the retirement, and alimony of $1,000 a month for 3 years. Mark countered. $25,000, a third of the retirement, no alimony. They accepted. We signed the papers on a Thursday afternoon in April, 3 months after Lauren had asked for the divorce. 2 weeks before my promotion was official. I walked out of Mark's office a divorced man. "Congratulations," Mark said. "You just saved yourself about $40,000 a year in alimony payments." She would have gotten that much if she knew about your new salary. Easily. You timed this perfectly. I drove home to my house. My house. Legally mine, no question. That weekend, I moved all of Lauren's remaining belongings out of the house and into a storage unit. Texted her the unit number and told her she had 30 days before I stopped paying the rental fee. She didn't respond. My promotion became official 2 weeks later. The first paycheck with the new salary hit my account, and I just stared at it. After taxes, it was more than I used to make in a month working my old salary. I paid off my car, paid off my credit cards, put a huge chunk into savings. For the first time in years, I felt financially secure. I also felt free. 3 months after the divorce, a friend set me up on a blind date. Her name was Nina. She was a veterinarian, funny and warm, with an easy laugh. We met for coffee, talked for 3 hours, made plans for dinner that weekend. Dinner turned into a second date, then a third. Then we stopped counting. Nina was different from Lauren in every way. She didn't care about status or money. She loved her job. She had her own life, her own friends, her own goals. She asked about my divorce on our 5th date. What happened? She wanted more than I could give her. More money, more status, more everything. Eventually she decided it wasn't worth staying. That must have hurt. At first. But honestly, I'm relieved. We wanted different things. What do you want? Someone who likes me for me. Not for what I can provide or what I can become. Just me. She smiled. I think I can work with that. We took it slow. No rush. No pressure. She met my friends after 2 months. I met hers after that. 6 months after my divorce, Nina and I were having dinner at my place when she said, "I love you." I looked at her. "I love you too." Good. I was worried I was moving too fast. You're moving exactly right. We got engaged on New Year's Eve. Small proposal. Just us on a hike to a spot overlooking the city. No grand production. Just me asking and her saying yes. We got married 3 months later. Small ceremony at a vineyard. Just family and close friends. Nina wore a simple dress. I wore a suit I already owned. We wrote our own vows. It was perfect. We'd been married for 2 weeks when my phone rang. Unknown number. "Hello. Michael? It's Lauren." I hadn't heard her voice in over a year. "Lauren, what do you need?" I heard you got married. Congratulations." "Thank you. I also heard you got a big promotion. Director of IT." My stomach tightened. "Who told you that?" "I ran into your old coworker Dave at a coffee shop. He mentioned it. Said you're making really good money now." "Okay. And I think we should talk about modifying our divorce agreement." "There's nothing to modify. The divorce is final." "But you weren't making that kind of money when we got divorced." "If I'd known, I would have asked for more." "That's not how it works, Lauren. It's not fair that you got this huge raise right after our divorce. I'm entitled to some of that." "No, you're not. We're divorced. What I make now is none of your business." I talked to a lawyer. He said I might have a case for reopening the settlement. I almost laughed. "Lauren, you got divorced because you weren't happy with what I was providing. You wanted out. You left. The divorce is final. You have no claim to anything I make now. But nothing. You made your choice. You chose to leave when I was making $80,000. You don't get to come back now that I'm making more. I was your wife for 7 years. And you left. You could have stayed. You could have supported me, believed in me, built a life with me. But you didn't. You wanted something I wasn't. So you left. That was your right. But it's also final." She was quiet for a moment. "You're different. You never used to stand up to me like this." "I'm happy now. That makes it easier." "With your new wife?" "Yes." "Does she know you're only with her because of the money?" "Nina makes her own money. She's a vet. She does just fine. We're together because we love each other. Not because of what I make or what she makes. Just because we fit. That's what I thought we had." "No, Lauren. What we had was you being disappointed that I wasn't climbing fast enough. What I have now is a partner who's proud of me regardless of my title." "I was proud of you." "No, you weren't. You were embarrassed. You told me that at your friend's wedding. Remember? When you said you were embarrassed to tell people what I did for a living. She was silent. I have to go, Lauren. Don't call me again. The divorce is final. Move on. I hung up. Nina was in the kitchen. Everything okay? That was Lauren. She heard about my promotion. She wants to reopen the divorce settlement. Can she do that? No. My attorney confirmed it. The divorce is final. She has no claim. Nina hugged me. I'm sorry she's bothering you. It's fine. She made her choice. She doesn't get to unmake it now. 2 days later, I got a call from Mark. Lauren's attorney contacted me. She's trying to modify the divorce settlement. On what grounds? She's claiming fraud, saying you hid the promotion from her during the divorce. I didn't have the promotion yet. The offer came after she filed, and the promotion wasn't official until after we signed. Exactly. That's what I told her attorney. He's pushing anyway. Wants to see financial records, employment contracts, everything. Can he do that? He can try. But Michael, you didn't do anything wrong. The promotion came after she filed. It wasn't effective until after the divorce was final. She has no case. So what do I do? Nothing. I'll handle it. If he files a motion, we'll fight it. But honestly, I think he knows it's a losing battle. He's probably just doing his due diligence because Lauren is paying him to. 3 weeks later, Mark called back. It's over. Lauren's attorney withdrew the motion. He looked at the timeline and realized there's no case. The promotion came after the divorce proceedings started and wasn't official until after the final decree. She has no claim. What did Lauren say? According to her attorney, she's furious. But there's nothing she can do. The divorce is final. I thanked Mark and hung up. That evening, Nina and I were sitting on the back porch of our house, watching the sun set. Lauren's attorney withdrew the motion. I said, good. She can't keep trying to come back into your life. I think this is really it. She's out of options. How do you feel? Relieved. And grateful. For what? For her leaving. If she hadn't asked for the divorce, I'd still be married to someone who only valued me for my earning potential. Instead, I'm with someone who loves me for me. Nina kissed me. That's very sweet. But also, your earning potential is pretty attractive. I laughed. At least you're honest about it. I'm kidding. I'd love you if you were making minimum wage. But the fact that you can pay for nice dinners doesn't hurt. Fair enough. 6 months after Lauren's failed attempt to modify the settlement, I was at a work conference when I ran into Dave, my old coworker. Michael, how are you, man? Good. Really good. You? Can't complain. Hey, I need to apologize. I ran into Lauren a while back and mentioned your promotion. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but later I realized she probably wasn't supposed to know. It's fine. She tried to reopen the divorce settlement, but it didn't go anywhere. Still, I felt bad. How's married life? Amazing. Nina's great. Good for you, man. You deserve it. We talked for a few more minutes, then went our separate ways. That evening, I called Nina from the hotel. How's the conference? Boring. Missing you. I miss you too. 2 more days. 2 more days. Then I'm home. I'll make your favorite dinner. Perfect. Hey, I ran into Dave today. He apologized for telling Lauren about my promotion. That was nice of him. Yeah, it made me think about timing. If Lauren had found out about the promotion before the divorce was final, I'd probably be paying her alimony right now. But you're not. No. And instead, I'm married to you. Best outcome. Agreed. A year after my divorce, Lauren sent me an email. Subject line, I need to talk to you. I almost deleted it without reading. But curiosity won. Michael, I know I don't have any right to ask you this, but I'm in a bad situation. I lost my job 3 months ago, and I'm having trouble finding something new. My rent is due, and I'm short about $2,000. I know you're doing well now, and I was hoping you could help me out. Just this once. I'll pay you back as soon as I get back on my feet. Lauren. I stared at the email for a long moment. Then I replied, Lauren, I'm sorry you're in a difficult situation, but I can't help you. When you asked for the divorce, you made it clear that you didn't want to be connected to me anymore. That includes financially. I hope you find a solution to your problems, but I'm not that solution. Best of luck. Michael. I hit send and closed the laptop. Nina looked up from her book. Everything okay? Lauren asked me for money. Said she lost her job and needs help with rent. What did you tell her? No. Nina nodded. Good. She made her choices. I feel a little bad. Don't. She wouldn't have felt bad if you were the one struggling. She was right. Lauren had made it clear during our marriage that she wasn't interested in supporting me through hard times. She wanted the reward without the investment. I wasn't going to rescue her now. 2 months later, I heard through mutual friends that Lauren had moved back in with her mother. She'd found a part-time job, but was struggling to make ends meet. I didn't feel sorry for her. I felt nothing. She made her choices. So had I. We were living with the consequences. 3 years after the divorce, Nina and I bought a bigger house. For bedrooms, big yard, good school district. For the future, Nina said, smiling and touching her stomach. She was 3 months pregnant with our first child. We moved in on a Saturday with help from friends and family. My brother helped me carry boxes while Nina supervised, one hand on her growing belly. That evening, we sat on the floor of our empty living room, eating pizza and planning where furniture would go. Are you happy? Nina asked. Incredibly happy. You? So happy I could burst. I looked around the house. Our house. The life we were building together. You know what's funny? I said. What? If Lauren had stayed, none of this would exist. I'd be in that same small house, working overtime to try to make her happy, never succeeding. I wouldn't have Nina. I wouldn't have this house. I wouldn't have our baby on the way. So you're grateful she left? I am. She did me a favor. Then we should send her a thank you card. I laughed. Maybe not. But I do appreciate how things worked out. Nina kissed me. Me too. For years after the divorce, I was promoted again. VP of Technology. Salary jumped to $220,000. I told Nina over dinner. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you. Thanks. It's been a lot of work. You deserve it. You know what Lauren would say if she knew? What? That she was right to think I had potential, and that she deserved a piece of it. Good thing she's not around to say it. Very good thing. Our daughter Emma was 2 now, running around, talking nonstop, bringing endless joy. I was making more money than Lauren had ever dreamed I'd make. But I wasn't making it for her. I was making it for my family. For Nina. For Emma. For the life we'd built together. Lauren had wanted the destination without the journey. She'd wanted the success without the struggle. Nina had been there for both. She'd supported me through late nights and stressful projects. She'd celebrated my wins and comforted me through my losses. She'd earned this life with me. Lauren had just expected it. 5 years after the divorce, I ran into Lauren at a grocery store. She looked older, tired. She was with a man I didn't recognize. She saw me at the same time. Her eyes widened. Michael. Lauren. How are you? I'm good. You? I'm okay. This is Dan. We've been together about a year. I shook Dan's hand. Nice to meet you. You too, he said, looking uncomfortable. I heard you're VP now, Lauren said. That's great. I always knew you had potential. Thanks. And you're married? Have a kid. Daughter. Emma. She's 2. Something flickered across Lauren's face. Regret, maybe. Or envy. That's wonderful. You deserve to be happy. Thank you. So do you. We stood there for an awkward moment. Well, we should go, Lauren said. Good seeing you, Michael. You too. They walked away. Dan said something to her, and she shook her head. I finished my shopping and drove home. Nina was in the backyard with Emma, playing in the grass. How was the store? Nina asked. Ran into Lauren. How was that? Fine. Weird. She's with someone new. Good for her. Yeah. I sat down on the grass next to them. Emma climbed into my lap. Daddy, look. Bug. She showed me a ladybug on her finger. Very cool, baby girl. Nina leaned against me. You okay? I'm perfect. Just appreciating what I have. What's that? Everything. That evening, after Emma was in bed, Nina and I sat on the back porch. Can I ask you something? Nina said. Anything. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if Lauren hadn't asked for the divorce? Sometimes. But not in a wishful way. More like a grateful way. Grateful. Yeah. Grateful that she set me free. I would have stayed married to her out of obligation. I would have kept trying to make her happy, even though it was impossible. I would have missed out on you and Emma, and this life we've built. So her asking for the divorce was the best thing that happened to you. Best thing until I met you. She smiled. Smooth. It's true, though. She wanted to leave when I wasn't making enough money. She thought I'd never be successful. She was wrong. But by the time she realized it, I was already with someone who'd believed in me all along. I do believe in you. I know. That's why this works. We sat in comfortable silence, watching the stars come out. Somewhere across town, Lauren was living her life. Maybe happy, maybe not. It didn't matter to me anymore. I'd spent 7 years trying to be enough for someone who would never be satisfied. Now I spent every day being exactly enough for someone who appreciated me as I was. That was the difference. That was everything. And I'd never take it for granted. Lauren had wanted the divorce when I was making $80,000. She tried to come back when I was making $180,000. But by then, I'd already married someone who would have loved me at minimum wage. That was the real victory. Not the money, not the promotions, not the house or the title. The victory was finding someone who saw my worth before the world did, and building a life with her that no amount of money could buy. Lauren had her chance. She'd walked away, and I'd walked into something infinitely better. That was the story, and I was grateful for every moment of it.